ربي زدني علما.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
So Yusuf, today is our which session?
10.
I am really excited because today we are going to learn about the story of Musa alayhi salam. So we'll be covering from ayah number 60 to 73. Without wasting any time, let's start. Ba'da a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. So this is how we're going to cover the story of Musa alayhi salam. There is a hadith which is in Sahih Bukhari, and then there are the ayahs of Quran. So we'll be going back and forth from the hadiths to Quranic ayahs. So let's start the story. So just like every story in Quran, we know that the story that Allah tells is with what? With a purpose. Okay, so there is a purpose behind each story, and the story of Musa alayhi salam also have a lot of purpose in it. The hadith tells us that once Musa alayhi salam got up to deliver a speech to Bani Israel, the children of Israel, and he was asked a question, and the question was, Ayyun nasi a'lamu, that which amongst the people is more knowing. A'lamu is the word that you have already memorized, right? A'lamu is?
More knowing.
Yes. So who is more knowing? So Musa alayhi salam at that time replied that I am. Ana. I am the one who's more knowing. And Allah did not like this. He did not refer the knowledge to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah revealed to him that at the junction of two seas, there is a servant of ours who is more knowing than you. Musa alayhi salam asked that, oh my Rabb, how can I meet him? Allah said, take a fish and put it in a vessel and then set out. So Allah told him that you take a vessel and you put a fish in it, and then you have to go to a junction of two seas. And where you lose the fish, you will find him. So Musa alayhi salam took a fish, put it in a vessel and set out, along with his boy servant who was Yusha bin Nun. So Yusha bin Nun was a boy at that time, but later we know that Yusha bin Nun is also one of the prophets. Peace be upon him. Going back from the hadith to the Quranic ayah, which is ayah number 60, when Musa alayhi salam said to his servant, meaning who? Yusha bin Nun. Okay, Yusuf?
Okay.
I will not cease traveling until I reach the junction of the two seas or continue for a long period. Here is the first lesson that we learn. So Musa alayhi salam wasn't the person who was going to give up. When Allah told him that there is somebody who knows more than you, he wants to learn from that person. So he says that I'm not going to stop unless I meet that person and I get to know that what that person knows. Okay. So first thing is not giving up, especially in seeking knowledge. Okay. The next thing in the story happens is going back to the hadith. When Musa alayhi salam and Yusha bin Nun, they reached a rock on which they both lay down their heads and they slept. So they reached a point, they laid down their heads and they took a nap. But what happened next was in ayah number 61, but when they reached the junction between them, they forgot their fish and it took its course into the sea, slipping away. So that was the point that the fish got out of the vessel, and Allah told them that wherever the fish comes out, that would be the spot that you'll meet that person. But what happens? They're on the rock, they slept, they took a nap, and the fish went out and they forgot about it. So the story continues. The fish moved vigorously in the vessel and got out of it and fell into the sea, and there it took its way through the sea as in a tunnel. When Musa alayhi salam got up, his companion forgot to tell him, meaning Yusha bin Nun, forgot to tell him about the fish. And so they carried on and they resumed their journey the rest of the day and the whole night. The next morning, Musa alayhi salam said to Yusha bin Nun, which is in ayah number 62, bring us our morning meal. So, of course, they slept, they spent the whole night traveling, and now it's the morning time and they are hungry. And he says that, bring us our morning meal. Truly, we have suffered much fatigue in this, meaning our journey. So, it has been a tiring journey. The hadith tells us that Musa alayhi salam did not get tired until he had passed the place that Allah has ordered him to look for. So at that moment when he was tired, Yusha bin Nun told Musa alayhi salam, which is in ayah number 63, that do you remember when we were at that rock and I forgot the fish? None but shaitan made me forget to remember it. It took its course into the sea in a strange way. So Musa a.s. at that moment said that this is what we have been seeking. That this was something that we were here for. So what did they do? They went back, retracking their footsteps. and going back to the same rock where the fish went loose. So now coming towards ayah number 65, and now is the moment when he meets that person. Do you remember that person, Yusuf?
Yeah.
What's special about that person? What did Allah say about this
He's
person?
more knowing that Prophet Musa.
Yes, more knowing. And let's see who that person is. So they found a man covered with a garment. This is from the hadith. There's this person who's there, and Musa alayhi salam greeted him. So from the hadith, we know that his name was Khidr. So Khidr alayhi salam said that, is there such a greeting in your land? Musa alayhi salam said that I am Musa. So he introduced himself, he greeted him, and then he said, I am Musa. And Khidr alayhi salam said, are you the Musa of the children of Israel? Are you the Musa of Bani Israel? And Musa alayhi salam said, yes. Now this is ayah number 66, that he is telling his reason of why I'm visiting you. Why am I here to meet you? He says that I have come to you so that you may teach me something of your knowledge which you have been taught. So Musa alayhi salam already knows that he is somebody who knows more than him, so he wants to learn what he knows. And Khidr alayhi salam said in ayah number 67 that you will not be able to have patience with me. So Khidr alayhi salam already knows that whatever they are going to set off on a journey, and whatever Musa alayhi salam sees on that journey, he's saying that you will not be able to be patient with me. And then he also says that, oh Musa, I have some of Allah's knowledge which he has bestowed upon me, which he has given me, but you do not know of it. Yusuf, here is the difference that we see, that what Musa alayhi salam earlier replied, and now Khidr alayhi salam is saying. You remember what Musa alayhi salam said when he was asked, who is the person who knows more in all the human beings? What did he say?
Me.
Yeah, he said me. But here Khidr alayhi salam is saying that whatever knowledge that I have it because Allah gave me. So here comes our next lesson. When somebody appreciates us, when somebody says that we are so cool, we are so pro in something, it is not that I am so good at this. It is because that Allah blessed me with that. So maybe somebody says that, oh wow, you are so good at memorizing. And you're like, oh yeah, I am the best in memorizing. That wouldn't be an answer. The answer would be like Khidr alayhi salam, I am so good at it because who gave me this?
Allah.
Yes, Allah gave me this. Somebody says that, oh, you're so good at basketball. Oh, the way you dunked today, that was awesome. Oh, it's not because the reason is that, oh, I'm so good at it, or maybe because I was wearing my Hardens, or maybe I was wearing my so cool basketball shoes. It's not because and maybe because I'm too tall, that's why I can do it. It is because that Allah blessed you with that. And there could be so many examples. So anything that we do, we say that I'm good at it because Allah made this happen for me. Okay?
Okay.
So continuing in the story, he says, Khidr alayhi salam tells him that this is because that Allah has given me, and you have some of Allah's knowledge which He has blessed you with, but I do not know it. So I don't know what you know, and you do not have what I have been given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here comes our ayah number 68. And how can you have patience for what you do not encompass in knowledge? And he says that something that you don't know, how will you be that patient in it? And Musa alayhi salam says that qalas satajiduni insha'allahu sabiran. That he says that insha'Allah, that if Allah wills, you will find me somebody who's patient. Wala a'si laka amra, that I will not disobey you in any. Amran is a word that you have already done. So what does amr means? Do you remember?
No.
Matter or command. Okay? So here's an interesting point. So the story is for the first time is being narrated to Prophet Muhammad. Do you remember one of the words Prophet Muhammad forgot to say when people asked him that?
Inshallah.
Yes, Insha'Allah. And here we see that Musa alayhi salam is the one who says Insha'Allah. So every time we say Insha'Allah for something, we are actually following the sunnah of whom?
Prophet Muhammad.
And Prophet Musa. Okay? So Musa alayhi salam was the one who said Insha'Allah as well. The story continues, and now they are set for the journey. And let's see what happens in the journey. But before they start the journey, Musa alayhi salam said that, okay, I will be patient I would not disobey you. So they're setting rules for seeking knowledge. And at the same time, Khidr alayhi salam also tells him in ayah number 70, then if you follow me, you're not going to ask me anything unless I mention it to you. Unless I tell you, you're not going to ask me anything. Okay, so here is one of the words that you have to memorize for today, which is dhikran in ayah number 70. So Musa alayhi salam agreed on it, that I'm not going to ask you anything unless you tell me. And now they are on their journey. So they set out walking along the shore. And until the point comes that they reach a boat. And when they reach a boat, they ask the crew that if they can come on board. And the crew, the people said, recognize al-Khidhr. So people knew al-Khidhr at that time, and they saw Khidr and they said that, oh sure, you can join us. So Khidr and Musa alayhi salam, they were allowed to go on the boat free of charge. And when they got on the board, then Musa alayhi salam saw that what Khidr alayhi salam was doing. You know what he was doing?
What?
In ayah number 71, Allah tells us that he took one of the planks of the wood from the boat, meaning that making a hole in the boat. What is going to happen if you make a hole in a boat in the water?
Water's gonna come in, it's gonna sink.
Yeah, it is going to sink. And that didn't make any sense to Musa alayhi salam. And he's like, this is the point that, remember what he was told? That you are
Don't
not...
ask any questions.
Yes, you're not, unless...
Unless he mentions it.
Yes. And now Musa alayhi salam, he's not being patient. Here is the first time that he goes on talking. In ayah number 71, he says that these people gave us a free ride, yet you have broken their boat so that its people will drown? Well, this is indeed a terrible thing that you have done. And now is the time Khidr alayhi salam says what? قَالَ أَلَمْ أَقُلْ إِنَّكَ لَن تَسْتَطِيعَ مَعِيَ صَبْرًا. So you'll see that this verse is going to repeat over and over again. The meaning of this verse is that Khidr alayhi salam is reminding Musa alayhi salam, remember I told you that you would not be patient with me. And now Musa alayhi salam remembers that, oh no. Remember, I said that I'm not going to ask any questions. I agreed on it unless Khidr is going to tell me. He says that قَالَ لَا تُؤَاخِذْنِي بِمَا نَسِيتُ, that do not account me for this because I forgot about it. I said that I wouldn't say anything, but I forgot about it. So just forgive me for this time and do not take me account for that because I forgot. And don't be hard on me for what has happened. Now again they continued their journey. So Khidr alayhi salam did forgive him for this first time. So their journey continues. But what happens next in the journey, we will cover next time. So there are going to be 2 more incidents where Musa alayhi salam is going to run out of patience and he's going to ask again. We'll see what happens. As Khidr said that you have to wait until I tell you. So in the story, he will tell us later, next time we'll cover it, that why did he make a hole in the boat? So there is a reason to it. So we'll end up here, Yusuf. So the 3 words for today that you have to memorize. One is in ayah number 63. It is sabil. And sabil means, Yusuf, what does it mean? Path. Then the next word is ilm, which is in ayah number 65. Ilman.
Means knowledge.
Yes, means knowledge. Yusuf knows these because he already wrote them down. Okay.
And last one is zikr or zikrun, which means reminder or remembrance.
Yes, it is in ayah number 70. So, Yusuf, for today's lesson did you learn up till now in the story?
I learned that
for yourself.
You shouldn't brag about anything that you have that Allah has blessed you with. Like, if you're the best gamer, then don't like brag about the stuff that you have because Allah can take it away at like any second.
And there's always somebody who's good at something and they may be better than you. Okay, till next time. Assalamu alaikum.
Can't wait until what happens next because it's like so like I'm anxious to figure out what's next. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Did you know the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever travels a path in search of knowledge, Allah will make easy for them the path to Jannah. The angels will lower their wings for the seeker of knowledge. The inhabitants of the heavens and the earth, even the fish in the depth of the water, will seek forgiveness. Let's make those fish busy. Subscribe to our channel and share the video so others can benefit from it.